G'day, that slot car guy here. Today we're going to do a bit of an evolution of slot cars. Right in front of me you can see two beautiful Jaguars. One on the left is by Scalatrix. It is an XJ8 in Castrol livery, obviously a Jaguar, car number 60. And on the right is the slotted XJR12 in the Castrol livery, car number 61. Very similar cars. One was built in the late 80s, early 90s, and the other one's very current. So we're going to compare what's changed and how we're moving forward in the slot car world. This isn't a what's better or what's worse. I'm a huge retro collector, so I do love the Scalatrix on the left. Love the old style, but I'm also loving the new direction of the higher detailed, almost model style cars on the right, which is the slotted. So sit back and relax. We'll have a quick squiz at how we're tracking in the slot car world. Right, yeah, so I've removed both cars from the boxes, and as you can see on the left is our Scalatrix, and on the right is the slotted. Colours are a little bit different. The left is more of a traditional emerald green, bright green colour, and on the right is a darker, almost like a British racing green. Not exact colours that I'm mentioning there, but that's what it looks like to me. So have a closer look at the Scalatrix. We'll just have a quick all-over, bit of a tour around the car. And it's got the 60 Castrol. The stickers are still quite vibrant on this still. It's a good condition car. Little headlights. There's a little fella inside. He's hanging on for dear life. So they're quite basic. The rear, as you can see, not much detail on the exit of the exhaust pipes. There's minor, I'd say, decals all over the car. I think just enough that you need on there. And then let's go underneath. So we've got an inline motor, which is still pretty traditional. Obviously you've got your guide, and that's about all underneath. She's quite weighty. I don't have a scale, so I can't weigh it. But again, I love the old style. I think they look cool. You can pick what kind of car it is out of the crowd. It depicts the car it's trying to go for. But now let's have a closer look at the slotted. And again, I mean, the decal quality is better. Obviously your rims, you've got a detailed rim now. We'll move around to the front, and again I'm not saying what's better or worse, it's just a comparison. Beautiful decal work, nice windscreen wiper on the front, the other one has it as well, antenna on top. More detail on the driver, he's still hanging on for dear God, but inside is, I mean, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, you can see a bit of blue work at the back. Let's see if we can pick it up. Some stud work on the passenger seat. Moving along, spinning around, and then at the rear end, a little bit of pipe work and some nice metal work on the rear spoiler. Now, with these newer models, you'll find there's some little added gifts now. So these little side pods can be removed, revealing the rear wheel. And I guess that's less aerodynamic, but now more of a comparison to the older model. So let's bring them both into view. So as you can see, nice blackout rim, but then above and below, completely different cars. Both very beautiful still, but again, just on the outlook of them, you can see how we've kind of moved forward with detail and more of a car model. So I'm going to crack them open. We'll have a look inside and see how different the workings on the internals of these cars are. Rightio, so remove both shells from both cars. Right hand side is still your slotted, left hand side is your Scalatrix. The main difference when removing the two shells was Scalatrix took 3 screws. One of the screws actually goes through this rear spoiler into the body onto the chassis, which holds it all together, and then 2 screws at the front. So one at the rear, 2 at the front, where your slotted is pretty much just a 2 screw job, 1 at the back, 1 at the front, and this stays as a solid piece. We'll look at the Scaly first. Apologies, I've cut some wires because I was running a digital chip, but on a whole, you've got the inline motor, got nylon gearing at the rear. Nothing's really adjustable. It is what it is. I've added some weights, front and rear working lights, which these days is rare to find in some of the cars. Carrera, Evolution don't normally have running lights where their digitals do. And I find obviously this slotted doesn't have running lights. Main difference is positive and negative wires that run from the motor run over the front axle, and there's a little guide slot at the front where they can tuck in and under. Removable rear magnet or mid magnet, or you'd call that rear magnet, but that's pretty much all it is. So I've tinkered with it a bit to make it a bit better, but as a race car you wouldn't really be choosing this over the newer style to go racing at your local track. Let's have a quick look at the slotted. This feels a lot more flimsier. Not that it's a bad thing, it just means it's lighter. I dare say the way they pump them out of the molds is a lot different now, but this plastic is a lot thinner. Major difference you can see straight away is negative and positive run under the front axle, connect straight above the car to the front guide. Inline motor, which is the same. You can get sidewinders, but this is an inline motor with a removable motor pod. We'll flip that over quickly. 4 screws and you can remove the pod, but even better, you can loosen that pod so it moves with the car. So the chassis and the pod kind of move independent for better handling if you really want to get into tuning this thing up for proper racing at your local track or at home. We'll look at the rear. You've got a metal gearing, which is interchangeable with a nylon rear gear, which is obviously married nicely. The rear diff can be exchanged, changed and taken out by a small Allen key, and also the rear hubs are very similar. They can be replaced, removed, changed if you're running a bigger rim, bigger tyre, etc., or you want to tune this thing a lot better. So on a whole, this for your club racing will be a better car to choose, but I won't discount the Scalextrics because they still perform very well at home. You'd need to do more to the older stuff to go as quick as this. We're out of the box. This thing's quite a buzz. So, just to recap, obviously the shells are a lot more detailed in today. The way they produce them is a different. I believe it's a different kind of producing format. I don't know how they did the old plastic style, but these are more like a mold these days. The chassis are a lot lighter, and you can actually customize them a lot more, where the old ones are almost set in stone. Yes, you can change them, you can do what you need to do to them. A lot of the newer stuff comes with some preset holes for digital chips, whether you're running Scalextrics, Ninco, Carrera, Scorpius, Oxygen, whatever digital chip you're running. Sometimes these newer cars have it set up for you to drop in and drop out, where the older one obviously have to drill a hole in it and just set it up so it can run digital. What do I prefer? Both, I think, have their own characteristics. Yes, the right-hand side is better for racing, but I love the nostalgia of the left. Both represent similar car. Looking at it from a distance, you know it's a Jag. The stickers are great on both. But moving forward, yes, I'm excited to see where slot cars are now going. In the background, I'll just zoom out. We've also got a lot more car designers now. I've got SRC on the left here, some beautiful four-wheel drive cars. You got some Scalextrics down the bottom, and also some Carrera on the right. So choosing a car these days, there's more choice. But this is a quick insight look on how slot cars are moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I will be doing some more reviews on some cars. The track that I've been filming on here in the background is a Mr. Tracks. It's www.mrtracks.com. He's in Melbourne, Australia, and he does home tracks. So this track is beautiful for running my slot cars when I'm testing them. So again, my name is Travis, or at that slot car guy on Instagram. Thanks for watching. If you've got any cars you want reviewed, I have a ton of cars. Please put a comment in the comments, and I'll see if I can find that car, scoop it up, and do some reviews. Cheers. Ciao.